Hi everybody, this is Miss Rowe from your computer science lesson, and as I said in lesson, here's the networks and the internet recap slides in case you missed anything. So you can write it down in your workbooks or just come and ask me in school. Okay, so the first activity I gave you was to define the word network out of the dictionary. So obviously, if you open the dictionary, what would it say? What does it mean to you, network? So the answer was a group or system of interconnected people or things, because obviously the word network isn't just for computing, but in a computing sense, it's just a set of computers all connected together for the purpose of sharing. So it just means you can share resources with each other. So the most common resource obviously is via the internet. So this is something you'll need to know. And also you can Google it from home. So here were the outcomes. Able to identify what a network is. Able to explain the basic principles and architecture of LAN and WAN. Able to list the advantages and disadvantages of star, bus and ring topologies and understand the network components. So the second activity I gave you was to draw a diagram of your home network. And if you remember, we went through this. This is my home network. So here is the PC and the laptop. They're connected to the BT hub. Then obviously Wi-Fi, all these items here are on the Wi-Fi, even the printer, which is a wireless one. So that's an example of my network at home. So have a think about what yours is. Think about everything you might own and what your parents or carers might own, laptops, smartphones, tablets, and don't forget smart TVs, as I mentioned in class. So here again is what is a network. A network is a series of computers and other devices connected together to share hardware, software and data. It just makes it far easier at school, which is what you do at school, you're on a network, and also for businesses such as banks and the gym, for example. Everyone has a network. Even if you put two devices together, you've created a mini network. So there are two types of networks, LAN and WAN, and the biggest known network is the internet. Here's the local area network, the LAN. So if you've missed anything today, obviously, as we explained, the LAN covers one site. So, for example, your school is a LAN. Your home is a LAN. That's a good example. Internet connection can be shared between every device connected to a LAN. Obviously, that includes all your phones, your TVs, printers, as we mentioned in the previous slide. And LANs are either wired, which on the last slide I showed you the PC and the telephone and the hub, or wireless, which everything else in my house is wireless. So let's go on to the next. So we're on the wide area network. And if you remember in class, we went over this where the LAN, which says your school, connects to the WAN, which can be the internet, for example. So hopefully that is a little thing you can remember in future. So LANs are often connected to WANs, which is school network connected to the internet. So it's very expensive for businesses on a WAN because everything's just expensive. All the hardware, and they normally have to lease the line from a company like BT, Virgin, Sky. Whereas a LAN, most businesses or say the school can afford to get it all themselves. So here's the first topology, and like we said in lesson, the topology it's just a layout of a network. So you should be able to note that down. It's just like a map layout of a network. That's all it is. So advantages for the bus topology. It's easy and cheap. It's very efficient for small networks. And then disadvantages, hard to find faults. It's not suitable for busy and high traffic networks. There's a security risk. The data sent by devices seen by the entire network, and all devices connected to one central cable, which obviously is an issue because it can slow the data down. Network topology ring. So this again is a layout of a network, and an advantage is the data moves in one direction. Central server is not required. In comparison to the bus, it handles the data faster because it goes in bus. Easy to locate the faults, and the costs are far less than the next slide I'm about to show you, which is the star topology. The ring and bus topologies are quite dated now, so star is used more, but we'll go into that in a minute. So disadvantages, changes to one node affect the network's performance. So if we change anything on this device here, it can affect the whole performance, like a printer. So it is slow because each device, it goes you, then onto you, then onto you, all the way around. And if this one here breaks, it can cause the whole network to fail because obviously no one can get past it until it's been fixed. So next slide is star. So you'll remember this one is the one with the center switch or server. So data moves in one direction, preventing crashes. So one way from the center. It is very easy to connect new devices, and for the administrator or the IT person, it's easy to manage because they're just looking at one device. Disadvantages is it's expensive, very expensive. And if there is a problem with the switch or server, the whole network goes down. If there's an issue up here, absolutely fine on one of these devices. But if it's on the central, it will cut everything off. So that's a major disadvantage. So as we said in lesson today, school is an example. Here's the network. Don't let it scare you. So this is almost your classroom. So this is the IT suite we were in today. And this is a server which is connected to the switch. Every single cable coming off the switch is connected to its own device. It goes to the hub, which goes out to the external, which you'll see when you walk in the street sometimes. So when you pass these now, you'll think of this lesson. But yeah, it looks a lot messier, but obviously there's a lot of trunking in between here, which has been set up, so it makes it look a lot neater, the room. And you can only see the cables here up in the corner if you have a look in the next lesson. So, like some of the things we've just seen. So here's the switch. That's just like a global picture for Cisco, for example. So the switch connects devices to the LAN. So all the PCs in the room at school is connected to the switch, which then connects it to the network. The router, however, connects everything and transfers data between networks. So without this router, you can't go anywhere out of the school with your data. It's just that LAN. The network interface controller allows a device to connect to a network. As we were saying in class, these are quite a bit more obsolete nowadays, and they don't exist as much, or a bit older. A lot of devices now come with it installed already, so you don't have to worry about it, so you may never see one. And then the Ethernet cable, Cat5e, I believe we've got at school, and it's used to connect a computer to the network via router. Or if we go on the previous page, you can see when you're next in class, look at the back of your PC and you'll see the blue thicker cable going through, and you also see it, like I said before, going up to the server cabinet. So that is the end of today's recap. I'm going to try and get these done every time we have a lesson. So let me know what you think. It's my first video on YouTube. So if there's anything you think I could do better, then just let me know. Okay, see you in school tomorrow.